Well, good morning. Today is Friday, December 22nd. Hard to believe I'm not in the car. Can you believe it? It's like a Christmas miracle. Although I'm going to be getting in the car very shortly. Jim and I have some running to do. We're going to I have to go. I thought I was all done, and I really was done. But there's two gifts I want to get for two very special people in my life. I'm not going to tell you who they are because they watch my videos, and I don't want them to know. So I'm not going to see them till after Christmas, so I'm going to go get it today. I thought I was done, but then I remembered I wanted to get these two particular gifts. And then what else I got to do? Oh, then we're going to go pick up our honey-baked ham, so I get to stand in that line for our Christmas Day dinner. And the way my family does it is everybody brings a dish to pass, and then Mary, Mike, Denise, and I buy the ham, the honey-baked ham, which is quite expensive, but it's so good. It's just so good. And then I'm making cheesy potatoes. And like I said, everybody brings something, so it'll be a nice little celebration on Christmas Day. And then from there, I'm going to my favorite bakery to get, what am I going to get? What am I going to get? You know what? You know, because it's Christmas. And there was a quote on things that calories on Christmas Day don't count, which is not true, but they do count. But I'm going to get my turtle cake. But I'll share it with everybody for our dinner tomorrow, because my family, my immediate family, we do our Christmas Eve tomorrow. And then from there, we're going to go to Jim's favorite bakery to get his pecan pie. And we have to go today to get that because it's a Jewish bakery and they're not open on Saturdays. And then they close at sundown today, so we want to make sure we get there early enough because they make the best pies. They make a really good chicken pot pie, too. And then I got a notification that I got mail. Yay! But when I get it in the morning this early, I find that I got to wait till like 3 or 4 o'clock to go pick it up because just because they tell me I have it doesn't mean it's actually in my box. So, other than that, I got a busy day. We had a little bit of freezing rain this morning. It's 32 degrees. There's a chance of snow on Christmas, so we're just hoping. And this is one of my Christmas presents from years ago. Jim got it for me because look at it, it's got a snowman. Did I ever tell you I like snowmen? I love snowmen. When I was working, there was one girl that I worked with. Her husband was a UPS driver. In the front of my house, I used to always put all these snowmen. Well, my whole house had snowmen, but the outside I had all these snowmen too. And he would drive by and he would steal a snowman, and then he'd hold it for ransom. I'd have to give his wife cookies because he delivered to where I worked too. So I had to give them cookies or something to get my snowman back. It was a fun little game we played every year. I do miss playing the game, but I don't work with her anymore, and she lives somewhere else, and blah, blah. So anyway, let's think of a Christmas story. Not a sad one, because I'm not going to cry today. You've seen enough of the inner me, the part that I don't share. I don't want to share that with you anymore. I'm sorry, but that's just part of me that I like to keep hidden. Let me think. All right, to my childhood. I always like those memories. I have so many memories with my kids too, but I'll have to think of them. They're always, I shared the one the other day. But anyway, the one I'm going to share with you today is on Christmas, we used to always give presents for my grandmother in Boston, and we'd open those on Christmas Eve. But on Christmas Day, when we'd come down, I'd sneak down all through the night to see if Santa had come, and I'd see that he hadn't come yet, and I'd go back to bed. I don't know how the Santa always knew, but Santa just knew. But the one year I really wanted beetle boots. I was 14, and you know what? You got to believe. If you don't believe, you don't get a gift. So I told Denise and Mary and Mike and Sue and Pat, I said, oh, I can't wait till the morning because I'm going to get my beetle boots. I just really want these beetle boots. And like I told you, we were poor. I didn't realize that, they were very expensive, and I thought, well, Santa will bring them. I'll get them because it's Santa. And on Christmas morning when we'd open our gifts, my father would never open his gifts till he was the last one to open the gifts. He would watch everybody open their gifts, and his would always be way in the back of the tree. And I don't know how Santa always knew that he was going to be last, because his were always you had to really crawl under the tree to get his presents. They were so far back. And except for the presents that we got, because my brothers and sisters and I always shared a gift of some kind, whether it was something we made or something that we saved our allowance for, or even if it was just a candy bar that we wrapped, we always had a gift for each other. And And we still do to this day. We still give each other a gift. But anyway, so we opened up all of our gifts. Everybody got what they wanted. You know, everybody was all happy in that. And no beetle boots. I was so disappointed. No beetle boots. But I thought, you know, I liked everything I got. I was very appreciative, and I was opening all my stuff. And so then my dad started opening all of his stuff, and, you know, we were watching him open his things. And then he got all done, and we were all done, and my mother was getting, you know, ready to clean up all the papers. And then my dad said, you know, you didn't give me all my presents. And we're like, all of us are looking, and we go, yeah, we did, yeah, we did. And he says, well, there's still another big box over there behind the tree, way in the back. So he told Denise, because she was the littlest, climb under there. I don't want to get gypped. If I got another present, I want to open all my presents. So Denise dragged the box out and gave it to my dad, and he looked at it, and he said, well, this isn't for me. This is for you, Sandra. My dad always called me Sandra. Jim and my dad are the only two people that call me Sandra. And but Jim does introduce me as Sandy. But on my cards and everything I give to him, I always sign Sandra. But anyway, so he says, well, Sandra, this is your gift. And I said, no, Santa already gave me all my gifts. I think that's yours. Santa never puts mine way in the back. He says, well, I think Santa messed up this year. I think this is your gift. And I opened it up, and it was the beetle boots. I was so happy. I was just so ecstatic, which just goes to prove, if you believe, you just got to believe. And I did believe. And it was just, I knew that it was like a real sacrifice to get me those boots because they were so expensive. But I wore those boots faithfully. I just loved those boots so much. I love the Beatles. I just, the whole thing. And it was just the fact that, you know, even if I wouldn't have got the boots, it was just that we have so much love in my family. I don't know if you realize that. But we share so much love in that I think it's when you don't have a lot, that you appreciate so much more. Maybe that's why I appreciate stuff so much more now, because I didn't really have a lot growing up, but I never felt like I needed something. I never did. But looking back, I realize we didn't have a lot of material things, but we had so much love in my family. And it's a love that I like to extend to my family now, and that's my gift to them. I know it's a cheap gift. No, not really. It comes from my heart. It really does. But so, okay, we're going to go rolling along. I was going to do the video in the truck, but then I forgot. The truck is really bouncy, and we'd be going like that. We don't want to be doing that. I'm going to stay on plan today. I'm going to stay on track because tomorrow is weigh-in day. And, you know, I have to reach my holiday goal of not a weight gain. So I got to be really, really good. My whole box, I don't know, whoa. So you can still see them right there are my Christmas cookies from Birdie. And I haven't eaten them yet, because I just wanted to be really good this week. I'm going to just freeze them. But I thought, I'm going to have a couple tomorrow. I'm going to have 2 cookies tomorrow after I get weighed in. And then I'm going to freeze the rest. So, okay, let's go. We got things to do. We haven't got time to just sit here chit-chatting with the pilot. Okay, what movie's that? Chit-chatting with the pilot. Okay, let's eat our breakfast. Usual suspects. I started my day with a prayer. I drank 50 ounces of water. I walked 4,289 steps. My quote is, you don't have to go fast, you just have to go. 24 smart points. It's a 2-point breakfast. 2 points for my 3 slices of center cut bacon, and 0 for my berries, the banana, the grapefruit, the tea, the water, and the egg. So I have 22 points left for the rest of the day. Had a snowman yesterday. We're going to have Santa Claus today. And later on, we're going to have another cup of tea with my Let's Get Fit cup. Well, no matter how I put these, is that better? No matter how I put the camera, I have glare on my glasses. When we were out shopping, I ran into somebody that I haven't seen in years, somebody I used to work with, and it just brought back a story I remembered. When we were working at this, we were third-party benefits, which means that we used to pay the medical bills, whatever. And I worked in the mailroom with her, and the business was like in the process of being bought and everything, and they were like trying to make it look more attractive, so they were going to let people go. They were going to lay us off for like 6 to 12 weeks. They weren't really sure, depending on how long the merger took. And so we knew that one of us was going to lose our job in the mailroom. So I had more seniority than her, so I knew it was going to be her that was going to get laid off. So I went to my boss and I told her that I knew that she was the support of her family, and she, because her husband wasn't able to work because he had a disability, and she carried the insurance, and she, you know, she was the main provider. So I told the manager, I said, you know, lay me off, not her. And they said, well, you know, you have more seniority. And I said, you know, I don't need the job. You know, obviously everybody, if you're working, you want the money. But, you know, she needs the money more than me. Lay me off, but call me back. So she says, no, we'll call you once the merger is done. So she did. She called me back. I was off. I think it was like 14 weeks. It was a long time. But I went back and I worked there for a couple years. And then in the meantime, when I did come back, she had found a job in another department where she made a little bit more money, so she transferred out, and so it was just me left. It was me and like somebody else in the mailroom that had a little bit more seniority than me. And so then once again, the business was, you know, a couple of years later, the business was getting bad again, and they were going to let people go. And so I knew I was going to be let go at that time, and it was going to be a permanent let go that time. But I thought, well, you know, if it's me, it's me. If it's not, it's not. It's no big deal. And I remember my manager's name was Cheryl, and we were just joking around, and she called me into her office. And so I figured that was the day she was going to let me go. So I said, well, I went to close the door, and she said, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm closing the door. And she said, well, why are you closing the door? You know I have an open door policy. I said, yeah, I know, but I figured you're going to let me go, and so you want me to close the door. And she said, well, how do you know I'm going to let you go? I says, I kind of think you're going to let me go, and so we should probably close the door. And she says, you don't know that I'm going to let you go. I says, oh, should I leave the door open? No, you better close the door. so she did. She let me go. And then probably like 3 weeks later, they called me back. And then I ended up working with them for another probably 8 years, 9 years after that, if that. Yeah, at least 8 or 9 more years after that. Because the girl that they left in the mailroom that was favored over me, didn't work out, so they let her go and brought me back. So what goes around comes around. That's about it. So I can't talk too much today because I just feel like I've been babbling a lot lately. I don't know. Maybe it's the time of year. I don't know. But I'm gonna go to the post office now because I got mail. Okay, it's time to eat dinner. I have my salad with some cottage cheese and tea and water. I tasted the poppy seed, the skinny girl. It tastes pretty good, so I put it on my salad. 2 ounces for my honey roasted turkey. The reason it's got a point is it's honey roasted. It's not a turkey breast. 4 points for my 1 ounce of provolone. 2 points for my 1 ounce of feta cheese. 0 for the dressing and the salad. 3 points for the half a cup of cottage cheese. 0 for my tea and water. It's a 7-point dinner. I still have 15 points left, but you know, I'm not really that hungry today. All right, I know it's like almost, 9:30, and I'm still not hungry. I know I have to eat more food because I'm not eating enough. And it's not that there's not stuff to have it on it, but I've just been so busy I haven't had time to eat. I know that's an excuse, but we'll see how tomorrow goes. And I got a busy day tomorrow, but I'll have a Christmas story. So I will talk to you guys in the morning.